Hey everyone, this is Clarinetgamer here, and I'm back with another review for the first time in what's been like, well, ages actually. Today I will be reviewing Crash Bandicoot 2, and as always I will be providing gameplay in the background as always. And I won't be playing the game this time around, this will be post-commentary for the review, which will help me concentrate a lot better. So I'm going to maximise the document that I have in front of me at the moment to talk about what I need to talk about in Crash Bandicoot 2. So first and foremost, the plot. Now, the plot is actually very interesting. Now, as you all know, obviously, like after Crash defeated Cortex and saved Tonya, who was never seen again after that. Instead, she was replaced by Coco, who I think is quite annoying. But anyway, Cortex ended up falling down into a cave where he saw a Master Crystal, and he used it to power up his new space station for the Cortex Vortex. And he decided to convince Crash he was trying to save the world by collecting crystals, and with the player, like if you're playing it first time, you'll actually be convinced if Cortex was a good guy. Now, the gems are actually being used to this extent as well, because if you collect a gem in the game, Brio will come up and say, okay, you need to collect the gems this time around instead of the crystals, because the crystals are bad. If I use the gems to destroy Cortex, I mean, that's what Brio said, if you collect the gems I'll use them to destroy Cortex, and it's pretty much a good standard plot right there. I mean, although I'm not going to spoil the rest of the story in case if you haven't seen Crash Bandicoot 2, but what could have been better was that if you could have had separate storylines, alternate endings. For example, like if you decided to collect all the crystals, then ultimately you'd be turning evil and siding with Cortex, whereas, oh yeah, okay, I've spoiled it, but anyway. Or if you collected the gems and not the crystals, you'd actually be aiding Brio instead of Cortex. So it would have been more interesting if they did that for a storyline. But again, knowing Naughty Dog, maybe they could do that for a future Crash game, if they do another Crash game, that is. I'm not saying there definitely will be one, but if they ever do that, then they could actually have that alternate endings kind of plot, because I never had that for any Crash game. So it would be interesting if they would do that for the future, if there's going to be another Crash game. So anyway, the plot is very good. I do like the plot, although you have to collect the crystals and the gems at the same time, so to advance on to the next warp room. So that would have been a good reason why they didn't do the separate storyline in the first place. So moving on to the actual gameplay itself. Now, the gameplay is a vast improvement from Crash Bandicoot 1, definitely. For example, like if you collect all the boxes in one go in Crash Bandicoot 1, then you'll get a gem. However, if you die and you get a checkpoint in Crash Bandicoot 1, you'd have to redo the whole level. Well, in Crash Bandicoot 2, that's been resolved. You don't have to do it this time around. So, for the gameplay is actually really good. I mean, it's a lot smoother this time around from Crash Bandicoot 1. It's like it's not very sensitive, the controls. And Crash has new abilities. He has the slide attack, the body slam, slide spin if you count that as well, and slide jump. And the gameplay stuff, like the levels, there's a lot of varieties of levels in this game, such as jungle levels, snow levels, river levels where you're riding a jet ski, well, which they used in Crash Bandicoot 3, but they used it way too much. But anyway, that's for another time. The border levels come back, except it's in a snowy environment. Bear levels, which are a huge improvement from the hog levels in Crash Bandicoot 1, even though some of the bear levels, or one of the bear levels in this game, are really hard. And what else do they have? They have sewer levels, forest levels like with bees, space levels like space station levels, jetpack levels, which are awesome. I really like the jetpack levels. Like up is down, down is up. That's what the controls are anyway, for moving Crash up and down. But the other level as well was the nighttime level as well in the jungle. So you have a firefly instead of an Aku Aku mask guiding you like in the lights out level. So I thought that was a good improvement. Like if you took a hit in Crash Bandicoot 1, well, you would lose your light and Aku Aku would be gone. So I thought that was a good improvement they made on that. But again, the huge improvement was you could actually collect the gem even if you die multiple times, which is actually a huge improvement. The biggest improvement actually from Crash Bandicoot 1, in my opinion personally. So the gameplay is really good. I mean, I'm not really going to give that much ratings, but the gameplay is really solid. Like, no, I don't mean by like it's hard, like it's solid as in like very good. Very good indeed. I mean, like I couldn't ask for any better, to be honest. although some of the levels are a bit hard in this, but it does add up to the challenge. For example, like in Bear It, the first Bear level, where you have to collect boxes that are in a weird angle, like, or certain aspects where you have to collect the boxes and you have to go left or right to collect the boxes, like at the end of the level. It's like very awkward, but again, good challenge instead of it being too easy. So the gameplay is really good. I'll give the gameplay as well. I'm not going to give it a rating or anything, but all I have to say is it's really good. The gameplay for Crash Bandicoot 2. The soundtrack, again, the soundtrack done by Josh Mansell, I think that's what his name is. Mutato Musica, that's the name of the company that composed the music for the Crash Bandicoot games on the PS1. I think it was up to Crash Bandicoot 3, I'm not entirely sure if they composed the soundtrack for Crash Team Racing. I think they did, but again, they did a brilliant job here with the soundtrack for Crash Bandicoot 2. The soundtrack fits with all level environments, especially the jet ski level where it has that rock, or excuse me, my voice is kind of going there, rock kind of bass soundtrack for the jet ski part, and the Boulder levels as well is more intense, the soundtrack. Excuse me, my voice is kind of going there, you might have heard. What else? The soundtrack, all in all, is really good. I mean, it fits with the environments of the levels really well, and yeah, I mean, that's all I've really to say about it. I mean, I like the soundtrack. It's one of my personal favourite video game soundtracks. The graphics, good improvement. Even though, yes, I'm talking about graphics on the PS1 game and thinking, why are you doing that, Clarinet? But you know what? I might as well just talk about the graphics. The graphics are really good improvement on the PS1, but if you play on the PS3, the graphics are really smoothed out, which makes the game, like, well, a lot better. Except, obviously, it's not like HD graphics. Imagine Crash Bandicoot in HD graphics. Wow. I mean, although you could imagine that on Xbox 360 with Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant, but yeah, the graphics are really good as well. So my overall thoughts on this game, it's a fantastic game. I mean, it's one of my favourite PS1 games of all time, to be honest, or one of my favourite games of all time, to be honest, to play. I can never get tired of playing Crash Bandicoot 2. That's what I'll say about that. And all in all, a rating, I think it gets 10 out of 10 from me. I think it's a really good game. I mean, there's nothing really you can do to improve it. Well, the plot thing that I suggested, I mean, it was just a suggestion. I mean, there was nothing to improve on it. It could have been something like interesting, but to be honest, I give the game 10 out of 10. To be honest with you, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Others might have different opinions of Crash Bandicoot 2, but that's what I stand by for. So, Crash Bandicoot 2 review, I mean, well, all in all, brilliant game. If you haven't played it, then I recommend you should. Or check out Let's Plays of other YouTubers, like I've done a Let's Play of it. Rich Renegade has done a walkthrough of it. BaconGamer1, I believe, has done Let's Plays of the Crash Bandicoot games. And also, like Keith Ely, he's doing a Let's Play of Crash Bandicoot 2 at the moment, so check his Let's Play out as well, which is going off to a great start. I mean, I'm enjoying his Let's Play so far. So anyway, thank you all for watching this review of Crash Bandicoot 2, and again, as I said, gameplay will be provided to, well, make the review more appropriate. So until then, guys, thank you all for watching this review. Please be sure to like the video, comment down below with your thoughts on Crash Bandicoot 2 as a whole for your own opinions, and please be sure to subscribe for more reviews coming in the near future. Until then, guys, this is Clarinetgamer here signing off, and I will see you guys next time for more reviews. Until then, I will see you later, and goodbye.